Punishment and imprisonment is one of the worst things our society can do to us, so to warrant such punishment, justification is needed. However, is the use of drugs really a decent justification for imprisonment? I want to delve into the depths of our current drug policies in Scotland to see if they're successful at keeping us safe and creating a drug-free society. To start, I want to gain an insight into the life of a recovering drug addict.
These drugs make you blank out, they blur your memory. When I overdosed, obviously, 3 months ago, I think I blanked out for a week. And I actually can't remember a whole week.
Do you regret it?
Oh, definitely. It's a horrible drug, actually. I've just came off my script of diazepam because it's such a cold, horrible drug. And I've kind of after obviously my wee scare and that, it's kind of woke me up a little bit. I don't know what I was thinking. I must have thought I was invincible or something. I feel like I definitely felt like I'd been let down by the system because I remember I went to doctors when I was like 14. I was like, right, there's something not right here, you know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't really be doing this, I'm getting a wee bit, alarm bells were ringing already. So it took 11 years for me to die, clinically die, and get brought back for me to actually get help. That's how long it took. So it's ridiculous.
If I was to speak to someone who was looking for advice around, heroin addiction, I would discuss the reasons why I used those drugs and the freedom that I got, my experience withdrawing and the freedom that I got not using those drugs.
I overdosed on Subutex, so it is a heroin substitute. It's kind of like methadone, but obviously it's totally different. But it's the same kind of group, kind of drugs.
Was that the time you went to the hospital?
I think so.
And what happened?
I'm not actually sure, as I say, my memory was so blurry, but I can remember just waking up and I was in ICU. I didn't obviously know it at the time, but I just woke up and obviously the state I was in, absolutely full of pregabalin and diazepam, alcohol, Subutex. I was just absolutely aware of it.
For people who become addicted and who get in real trouble with severe dependency are generally seeking or needing lots of help, around traumatic issues. And for the most part, those are abuse and neglect, a variety of different traumatic experiences that humans have, and drugs are very, as they were for me, a solution.
It's clear that the help provided for drug dependency is insufficient. So what's wrong with the way we deal with drug use and the law surrounding it? What can we do better, and what are we doing wrong? That's what I wanted to know next.
Yeah, so if somebody wanted to chat, we just invite them in here. We are determined to get information out there so that people can make better informed choices about what they wish to try and what they don't wish to try. Because it's a big unknown really as to what exactly is going to happen. There's a lot of people who are advocating for certainly moving away from criminalisation. We know that people, if they're being criminalised, are going into jail. Some people are picking up other habits inside prison, things like synthetic cannabinoids.
The best use of our energy and time is not to tell that person, don't take the drug. I think at the moment a number of drugs are illegal, for example cocaine, MDMA, but we do know that adults and some young people, not in massive numbers among young people, it's actually lower as far as all the evidence that we have goes. It's actually lower than it has been for a long time. So as far as we know, the fact that drugs are illegal doesn't deter people from taking them. What it does deter people from doing is making an informed choice when they're buying drugs, because drugs that are produced illegally have got absolutely no balances and checks on what potency they have, how well they're manufactured.
I think one of the major issues that I've had is education, pretty much, because no one ever sat me down and said, this can kill you.
You're not going to stop people from doing it, but if you can educate them about the effects of what they're doing to their bodies.
And I think we need to ask ourselves, why are so many people so many more people using more drugs than at any other time in history. That suggests to me that there's more pain than at any other time in history, and the availability of those drugs, and when I say drugs, I'm also including alcohol. The availability of those drugs is, you know, responding to a need in the market in very simple terms. And you know, whether that market should be regulated or not is something we should be discussing, and we're not.
Drug legalisation seems like a radical step, but could it be the answer to the pleas of drug addiction?
I think decriminalisation would have to be balanced with a really effective regulation of drugs in terms of quality control, if we know that people really do want to use these drugs. I think we can see what's happened with alcohol and drugs which are controlled but not criminalised. We can see that there's still damage from them. So if we were to just legalise all drugs, I think we would have a really difficult situation on our hands. I think we would have a situation similar to when new psychoactive substances were on the market, where we had this aggressive, developing, dynamic market where substances were completely unregulated, people didn't know what they were buying. If we had a more cautious, decriminalising approach like they have in Portugal, for example, with controlled production, I would suggest, of the more popular drugs, that we know that we're not going to be able to stop people taking drugs through legislation alone.
Personally, criminalisation I don't think helps. I am being diplomatic, I have to be diplomatic, but I think it doesn't help anybody. If we're looking at countries, Portugal is a classic one, Switzerland also, there are other places that have seen fantastic results. The number of deaths has gone down.
I don't think, you know, that people should be criminalised for using drugs. Absolutely not. I think we should be aware of more aware of why people use drugs.
All these people are dying needlessly. And you know, obviously Portugal has recorded a massive reduction, so for me it's just a massive one of people's lives here. You know, and as I say, you know, we're all humans, we're all people, you know, just because someone looks a little bit, you know, frail and all that, you know, they're still human, you know, we should be caring about these people, like, we should be trying to help them. You know, instead of just be gone, you know, there's your, you know, see you later, away. You know, out of sight, out of mind, it's no working.
That's the point of that.
2 months have passed, and I wanted to catch up with Rhys to see how he's doing, as I've heard his baby had just been born. So wanting to see how he's doing with the drug dependency issues.
Yeah, I'm doing an introduction to counselling, believe it or not, mate. It's quite interesting. And now, you know, I really want to do the course. I really want to be, you know, with my kids. But you know, it's quite obvious that I need the treatment. You know, I need to change my frame of mind.
And is that the baby born?
Aye, she was born 24th. Aye, 24th. You need to take the smile off my face. Like, smile, yeah. It's good. It's amazing, but I'll be honest with you, it's a wee bit stressful just now because she's in special care unit. You know, my first child wasn't like that. You know, he went full term. You know, she's obviously been a wee bit premature. So this is all new to me. You know, dealing with the fact that my daughter's in a wee incubator. And I get told when I can touch her, I get told when I can hold her. It seems it's difficult because I've never dealt with this before. But it's you know, I could have easily. You know, I can't remember the last time I was absolutely hammered. So I could quite easily have, you know, just turned to it quite easily and just been right. Let's forget. And let me assure you, I've been in my mind the past 2 days. I've wanted to blank out. I've wanted to be like, forget your problems, because my mind's just been can't sleep at night because of it. You know, it's horrible. But you know, I just feel like it's just the easy way out. And
It is now clear to me that our current drug policies aren't helping people enough. They are hindering some of the most vulnerable people in our society. So isn't it time we progress forward and at least discuss this issue so we can eventually consider drug use a public health issue and not a criminal one?